So we're going to explore GCD, greatest common divisor, and LCM, least common multiple. Okay, what is LCM and where do we use it? So LCM we need when we are trying to add or subtract fractions with different denominators. So let me see. Here, let's say numerator 3, denominator is 5. And if we have numerator 4, denominator 5, as long as denominators are the same, we can add and subtract. But if we have denominators different, 5 and 7, then in that case, we have to use the principle of least common multiple to bring these denominators to the least common denominator. Okay? Now, in the case of GCD, greatest common divisor, we use it when we simplify fractions. For example, if I have 2 over 4 fraction, I can simplify to 1/2. If I have 6 over 9 fraction, I can simplify to 2 over 3. Well, let's learn and how we simplify based on GCD, greatest common divisor principle. Okay, so let's take, for example, numbers 9 and 15. And the same way, for the same numbers, I'm going to use the LCM principle. So we are going for the same numbers, we are going to find GCD, the greatest common divisor, and least common multiple. So let's start with least common multiple. So how we're going to find out? We take the first number 9. What's the smallest prime number 9 can be divided by? It's going to be 3, right? So when divide 9 by 3, I will get here 3. Is 15 divided by 3 also? Yes, we get 5. Next, this 3. What is the smallest prime number that can divide? 3. Okay, we're getting 1. And 5 is not divisible by 3 without remainder, so we don't divide by 5. Divide by 3. So we got 1, 5. Okay, so the first number we got 1 already. There is no further division without any remainder or fraction. Therefore, we done with the first number. Second number 5, we continue dividing. 5, what's the smallest prime number we can divide? It's going to be 5. So 1 cannot be divisible by 5, so it's going to stay as a 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Okay, so once we reached both numbers to 1, that means we're done with division. And what is going to be our LCM? It's going to be equal. So this 3 times 3 times 5. 3 times 3 times 5. And it's going to be 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So if we have fractions with the denominator 9 and 15, let's say 1 over 9 plus 2 over 15, we both will bring to denominator 45. Okay? Now let's do greatest common division. What if we want to simplify? So greatest common divisor. So we again divide by smallest prime numbers, which is going to be 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we divide 3, I can divide by 3, I get 1. 5 is not divisible by 3, I leave it 5. So we are done with 1. So now 5, which number you can divide by? Smallest prime number, it's going to be 5. So I'm getting 1 and 1. Now for greatest common divisor, we need to pick the number, this divisor, that both of them I divided by. So it's going to be this one, right? Because see, I reduced 9 divided by, could divide by 3, 15 could divide by 3, got 5. This 3 cannot be because this 5 I couldn't divide by 3. And the same way is 5. So 3 is going to be our GCD. Okay? Greatest common divisor. All right? But not always we are getting lucky. What if we have a case like, let's say, 7 and 9? So let's say we're taking 7 and 9. Greatest common divisor, and 7 and 9. Least common multiple. Okay, let's start with greatest common divisor this time. So 7 can be divisible. The smallest prime number is going to be only 7. Here is 1, right? 9 is not dividable. We keep it the same. Now 9 I can divide by 3, right? So here is 1. Here is 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, since here we have 1, let's see, 3 we can divide by another 3. And we are getting 1 and 1. So we are done with division because we have 1 for both numbers. So, but which one we divided by, both numbers divided by? None of them. 7, it's not going to work because 7 divided, we could divide only 7. 3, we divided only 9. 1 is undividable, which means no GCD, don't have greatest common divisor, which means the fractions with the denominator, let's say 7, 2 over 7, and let's say if I have 4, let's say, well, no, hold on. So if I have 7 over 9, I cannot simplify, it will gonna stay the same because we do not have greatest common divisor. Now let's find least common multiple. So the same way, divided by 7 is 1, and 9 is not divisible. Divide by 3, I get 1 and 3, and 3 divided by 3, I get 1 and 1. So in this case, least common multiple is going to be 7 times 3, 21. 21 times 3, 63. So 63, we can bring, if we have fractions with denominator 7 and 9, we can bring to the common denominator of 63. Okay, now let's try 3 digits. Let's say if we have 3 digits, how are we gonna work with it? All right. So I'm going to take, let's say, 12, 16, and 48. Okay. So for GCD, greatest common divisor, let's start dividing. So 12, the smallest number I can divide by, it's gonna be 2. So which I get here, 6, 8, 24. I can divide by another 2. This 6, I will get 3, 4, and 12. Next, 3, I can divide by 3. So I will get 1. This is not divisible, stay 4. I can divide, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So next, since I got this here 1, I'm done with first number. So second number 4, I am bringing, let me see. Okay. So 4 I can divide by 2. So this one stays because I can divide by 2. Here is 2. Here is 2. Okay. These 2 I can divide by another 2. 1, 1, 1. I got all three. It's a 1. So what is going to be greatest common divisor? Let me see. These 2, because I could divide all three numbers, I could divide by 2. I reduced 12 by 6, 16 by reduced to 8, and 48 reduced by 24. These 2 also, because all three numbers I could divide by 2, and that's it. This 3 is not included because this 4 I could not divide by 3. So 2 times 2. So greatest common divisor, it's gonna be 4. 2 multiplied by 2. Now let's, for same numbers, 12, 16, and 48. Let's find least common multiple. Okay, dividing by 2 again. 6, 8, 24, first number, and then 6 divided by 2. I'm getting 3, 4, 12. So 3 I can divide by 3. I get 1, 4. 12 by 3 is 4. Now I'm using the second one because first already got 1. I can divide by 2. So 1, 2, and 2. And these 2 I can divide by 2. And I'm getting all three 1. So LCM is going to be equal 2 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 2. What we gonna get here? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. Well, here is something interesting. We got here 48, and now one of the highest number is 48. From here, I can tell you that before you look for least common multiple, it's a good idea to take the biggest number, okay, between these three numbers, take the biggest number and see if you can divide by other two numbers. Let's say 48, I can divide by, let me see, 48 I can divide by 12, right? I will get 4. And 48 I can divide by 16, I will get 3. So in such cases, it's already clear that 48 is going to be my LCM. But if the biggest number you can't divide by any of other numbers that are given for LCM, then you go through this path and divide so you can figure out how much LCM is. All right. Thank you for watching.